Hello, my name is Jason E. Short, and I have aspirations of becoming a college professor. In the last lesson, we partially discussed the pre-writing phase of a research paper. We talked about picking the subject and selecting the topic. We also briefly discussed gathering information, which needs further elaboration. I would suggest looking up information on the internet, as well as going to the library or bookstore to get information on your topic. As I explained in the previous video lecture, the easiest way of looking up information is on the internet. However, when looking up information on the internet, you have to be careful about where the information is coming from. Depending on your academic level, usually dictates what type of sources you're, you're able to use. If you're in high school, you may be able to get information from free online encyclopedias. However, on the collegiate level, you are not able to cite or use any information that is not from an expert such as a college professor, an author who has published the information, or a professional in a particular field of study. You have to ensure that the information is legitimate. Books are a good source of information to use. Books have lots of information that can be used in several areas. The only problem with books is that they are so long. Scholarly journals, newspapers, and magazines are excellent information as well. The articles are usually short, and it is usually easier to retain the information due to the directness of the author. When you find information in a book, journal, newspaper, or magazine, you should look up the author's name on the internet. They usually have additional information on the subject, or other authors may have read and responded to their work, giving you a different point of view that you may not have considered. In a previous lecture, we discussed taking notes. This subject also needs further elaboration. There are different note-taking styles. Usually the type of paper you are working on dictates the style that you will use. Various styles are the timeline, the chart system, or the grid system. The timeline is the style that most introductory writers use. However, if you are not writing a time event paper, you may want to try the chart system. In the chart system, you use two columns. In the first column, you ask a question you want to be sure to answer in your paper. When you come across the answer in your reading, be sure to write it down. The grid system is the most useful in the way I like to write. It has several columns with different headings. In the first column, you have to ask a question. In the heading of the other column, you would place your sources of information that you would like to use, and below the headings in the columns 2, 3, and 4, you will place the different answers given from the different sources. I know this may be a little confusing. However, I would suggest you using all of the different ways to collect notes so you can find out which one is the most effective for you. You want to make a habit of using all three systems to ensure that notes are complete and useful in case your paper changes direction after you get started in the writing phase. Again, if you're confused about any aspect of the note-taking system, please consult the internet or go to videowritingtools.com. Okay, let's review. In this lecture, we discussed the information gathering phase. We discussed some good information types, good places to find the information, and ways to find information. We also talked about ways to find additional information on subjects and authors, as well as information that may contest the views of an author that you may be comfortable with. We talked about the three note-taking methods, which are the timeline, the chart system, and the grid system. If any of these methods are confusing, look to process Look up the information on the internet. That is all for today. In the next lecture, we will discuss the thesis statement. Remember, this is one of the most important aspects of writing any type of paper, so please tune in. Thanks for listening, and I will see you soon.